Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ali, your favorite eccentric SLO-mad, and today we're going to be talking about the best places to live in Bangkok. Y'all, this has come up quite a bit in the last couple of days, and just both live in like direct communication with people that I've met um, around the globe, online, social media. Where should I move? I'm coming to Thailand. Mostly it's for people are asking who are planning on relocating here or staying here longer term or coming here to scout out Thailand or Bangkok as a whole. And so I want to jump right into this, you guys, and share with you some of my thoughts on Bangkok and where you should be. Because let me tell you something, Bangkok can make or break you. I just became a newfound friend of Bangkok in December of 2024. I've been coming to Bangkok since 2019, but mainly as a pass-through city because I was really not interested in living here after my experience being here kind of short term. So that can make or break you. So without knowing where to go, you can literally rule out one of the best cities in the world. Yes, I said it. All right, you guys, if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Again, I am Ali. My channel is all things travel. Travel here, travel there, travel everywhere. I'm going to be talking about it on my channel. And then how it relates to everyday life. Like, how do we sustain our health? How do we sustain, our relationships, both new and old? How do we sustain finances? All those kinds of things we'll be talking about on my channel. So let's get into it. I'm going to refer to notes because if you guys follow me, you know I be like all over the place. So I'm gonna name my top my top six areas that I particularly like, or know of. Maybe seven, because I think I need to pick one that's like a little north and outside. So these are going to be like a combination of places that are like in city, and then some places that are a little bit further away from commonly well-known spaces. I think I'm in a mood too, because you guys can see the people. I was just on that side because the view is so much better. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on this side. Y'all just have to. You guys are just have to see the people walking by here. I'll move over here. Sometimes it's a distraction. Sometimes it's not. But okay. All right. So let me give you mine. I'm gonna say the Sukhumvit area, particularly Thong Lo through or Prom Pong through Ekmai, Ari, location Bang Na, Onut, Rama 9, Sathorn, and Thornbury. I think it's Thornbury. Anyway, so those are going to be my top picks. All right. So I could literally list why for each one of those, and there's a little bit of overlap in things, but I think it might be kind of neat if I share specific things that people ask. Like, people move here and they have family, or you're coming for work, or let me see. Let me also make sure. Sorry, you guys. Let me also make sure that you all can hear me okay before I get deep into this. Let me test my sound. So you never can test the sound until you actually go live. So let me do that really quick and put my do not disturb on. Messages never come through until I'm doing a video. All right, so let me just make sure that you guys can hear me okay. For anybody who is watching this after the fact, I appreciate you guys. If you are new, like I said, to my channel, everything is travel. Please click the subscribe, like button. Okay, you can hear me okay, perfect. So it's not as clear as I like. I've got good Wi-Fi in here too, so I apologize for the haziness because I can see it on my laptop. Okay, so let's go to some questions or specific scenarios about some of the neighborhoods. So one of the things that some people want, the hustle and bustle. I'm currently in Tonglo. So, and I typically am in Tonglo, Ekamai, Pompong area, but recently stayed in Ari. I was staying at Onut, really liked it, its close proximity to Punawiti. And then I also, when I came back, what made me consider Bangkok long term was actually Bang Na area. And then there's the other areas I mentioned that are a little bit outside of the Sukhumvit line kind of area, but are on the MRT lines or other BTS lines, which is MRT is their metro, BTS is their SkyTrain. And right out of the gate, you really want to be close to one of those, especially if you don't plan on buying a car, which I just highly recommend not, unless you are going to be way out somewhere and not intermixing in the city, and maybe the grocery store and everything that you do is a little bit further and there is no train. So that would be like the only reason I would say, don't worry about MRT or the BTS lines, is if you do have your own transportation. All right, so let me throw out a couple of things around popular areas. So pretty much everybody is very familiar with the lower Sukhumvit, and by lower Sukhumvit, anywhere from Siam, which is right before it hooks and goes north. So anywhere from Siam all the way to Onut, I would say, are probably some of the more the busier areas. But from Siam to Prompong, where all the biggest of the malls, or the busiest, I should say, of the malls, the more touristy of the Sukhumvit areas is going to be. Also, the areas around like Kosan, they call it the backpacker area. It's where the walking streets, and there's walking streets in every community, but this is a big walking street area, bars and everything, and it has that walking street feel, but it's a wide space. It's actually, it's very, it's much more comfortable than it seems. It kind of reminds me of the walking area in Ho Chi Minh City. I don't remember what the name of it is, but there's a huge walking street there, and it's really wide. So you've got space. It's not like really cramped. But some of the more popular areas are going to be right in that kind of nook and cranny. And so it can get really bustling, and that area has a very high traffic kind of it always seems highs and lows, but there's so much traffic congestion in that area. And so being able to jump on the BTS SkyTrain is really beneficial, and it's helpful and easy, makes it easy to move around here and there. Okay, so those are a couple, that's one of the main areas that you'll hear about. And actually, yeah, and so within that, from Siam down to, I said Onut, but from in the Siam to the Prompong area, you've got the Seoul, which is where Terminal 21 is. Everybody goes to Terminal 21. And if you're on the MRT line, the blue MRT line seems to be the one where you'll hit all the other areas, like Sathorn, I believe, is on around the blue MRT, up to Central World. I think you can get to Rama 9 from the blue MRT line as well. And so there's just Those two seem to be the heavy lines where there's lots of activities. Most of the popular areas are. It's easy also to get to the Grand Palace, the river where your sleeping Buddha, all those things, your river boats for the dinner cruises and all that kind of stuff for the main river. So keep in mind that Bangkok is Little Venice. It's Asia Venice. It is a city that was built on canals. Everybody lived, lots of people lived along canal routes, and that was their mode of transportation. And now you can take, I just did a river tour yesterday, you can take tours, not now, but you can take river tours, because this has been going on forever. You can take river tours throughout the different rivers and actually see, I mean, regular houses and, you know, newer houses and compounds and stuff like that, and touristy things, and, you know, it's just, it's a whole community that actually functions heavily on the rivers, and there's river water taxis as well. Another question that people ask is like, what's a good area? I'm moving here with my family. I got my kids. I've got a teenager. I've got, small children. I want to be in an area where there's parks, where it's a little bit quieter. Yeah, all these things. I'm gonna tell you right out of the gate, like I am across the street, almost, not across the street, but I'm like a 2-minute walk from the SkyTrain. You can't hear anything. And I'm in Tonglo, like I said, so even at night, you can't hear music, really like nothing. And so it really just depends on the building that you end up getting. So I say all that. Excuse me. All right, had to get a yawn out. I was trying to hold it in. But it really depends on the quality of the place that you're staying in, and exactly where in the popular areas you're going to be, because someone may ask about Nana area, and that's just a whole nother ballgame over there. Okay, if you want quiet, please don't go there. But if you're moving somewhere with family, Bangna is an area that I know for a fact it's further away, but still very close to the BTS line, pretty much anywhere within there. And but it has more of a chill feel to it. The Thonburi area, which is north to the west, it's northwest of where I am. It's closer to the Dongwon airport, and it's west of there. In that area, a lot of people are moving to. It's away from everything. It is. I've only been there one time, and I've never lived there. But all of these areas have malls and stuff like that. So you've got all of that. You've got your grocery stores. Some of them may have a Big C, some may have a Lotus. You'll find Tops everywhere, gourmet markets in some of the bigger, more well-known malls and things like that. But that is one of the things that you should look for, is where's the grocery stores? Is it along walking routes or a real grocery store, not just a 7-Eleven, because you can't survive off of 7-Eleven long term. Yes, for a week you can survive off of 7-Eleven, but I mean, you really aren't gonna want to after a while. But for long term, you're gonna want to have access to either food eateries, more restaurants, and a grocery store. Whether you have a cooktop or not, you are going to want to be able to buy some things from the grocery store, typically, especially if you have family, if you have kids, and so those areas I know are good. Ari is another area I think personally they consider it like a suburban area. But I feel like if you're off the street a little bit, even in Prom, there's houses and things mixed in with the high rises. So it really kind of depends. But if you want more of the quiet, I would say kind of maybe avoid the Siam and I'm talking about along the Sukhumvit line, like really close to that Sukhumvit line. Siam and even Victoria Monument area, maybe, all the way down to Ekamai. I would avoid kind of that area unless you are okay being like 20-minute walk from the train line, from the BTS line. And if you're okay with being at least a 20-minute walk, you're still in kind of proximity, but you're far enough away to not be right in the mix of things. People ask which areas are more affordable, like what are the high-end areas and what are the areas that, you can find some good housing options, whether it's a standalone home or low-rise or high-rise. Let me say this caveat, because this is something I've been wanting to make a video on for the last week, and that is I feel like there is a tide turning because by Bangkok news reports, their tourism was down really quite a bit this year, enough for it to make a difference for them in the millions. And so what that means is there's more open condos, even condos that are apartments that are not serviced, or however they define it, the ones that are not serviced that they want longer term leases. Now I'm seeing an influx of a lot of these realtors and or condos really pushing short-term rentals. And by short-term, I mean monthly to 6 months. Whereas before it was really kind of not really something that you would see advertised as much as you see now. Like everybody wanted a 1 year, and if you do less than 1 year, it's really going to be higher price. Even someone who that I met that lives in Rama 9 area said that they did a short-term lease and it ended up being about $60 more per month just to do a short-term lease. That's really reasonable. Let me just say that that's really reasonable, especially for a brand new unit. This person moved into a brand new unit that no one else had lived in. So I feel like because of the influx of these condos just popping up overnight almost, you have a great opportunity to find some locations that are willing to do 3-month or 6-month leases, a lot more open to doing those than you may have seen before. And so in terms of affordability, based on my experience, so Tong Lo and Prom Hong are expensive, more expensive along that Sukhumvit line. Sathorn, Silam areas are the most expensive. They say that those are where the condos and everything, and you can see the price points. It probably doubles there. So if you want more of a they say high-end, classier, more extravagant type places, those are the two locations that I would point out. Now, I'm going to tell you, any one of these areas that you move in, you're going to be able to find high end and low end. It just depends on which block you're on, really. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's really going to be about the feel of it. And then there's going to be areas that I would say have more of a local feel, more locals around, and so the cost is going to be representative of that. So I would say Onnit is right in the mix, right in the middle of that, going all the way down to Punawiti. So Prakanong, what's the other name of it? So in between Onnit and Punawiti, there's another area, and that's it feels more local. It's a little bit again further away, so the price points are really good there as well. I think Bangna has really good price points, and then the further north you go and outward from the main lines, it's going to be much cheaper. Thonburi is going to be more reasonable price wise. They got new units and new housing and stuff out there too, but you're going to be able to find less expensive places. And then I'm going to say on the yellow line, I don't even know what the yellow line is, but when I look for longer term condos and things and I'm comparing prices, I always find things on the yellow line, the yellow BTS line, that the prices are excellent, but it's so far away from the things that I do that I've established and the relationships I've established, I never go out in that area. So just an FYI, okay? So those are, I feel like, the most affordable and, compared to some of the more expensive areas. We were talking about the car situation already, whether or not you need a car or a motorbike, and the answer is no if you are going to live somewhere close to a BTS line, the SkyTrain line, or the MRT, which is the Metro line. And one of the other things to consider, like especially if you end up in a high rise, is a lot of these high rises offer tuk-tuks to the closest, nearest train station, whether it's Metro or SkyTrain. And so if you happen to move into one of those units, then you don't even have to do the walk, the 20 to 25 minute walk. So that's just something to consider, something to look for when you are looking at areas and or housing. One of the other things I wanted to mention is in that area where I mentioned, like it's heavy on the tourism, lots of stuff going on at night. You can be out all night, from that Siam location all the way down to Ekamai. It is really open, really busy. So it can be a lot of fun, or it can be a nuisance. But again, if you're not right on that main road, you probably won't hear most of it unless your building is just built very poorly. But one of the things I want to mention is about parks. There are parks everywhere. And one of the things that I think is kind of a misconception is when you think of a big city, especially Bangkok or something like that, most people, you don't see the greenery. Like you don't see the parks. You don't see I'm in an apartment right now, but there's an infinity pool right there. There's a kids play area back here. So there's lots of greenery in the building, but you're like, yeah, but I want to walk outside of my building. Where can I go? Y'all, there are 3 parks right in the proximity of where I am, right? So everybody knows about Lumpini Park. Lumpini Park is a big park. All of these parks have lakes, multiple walkways. They do a lot of, I think it's every weekend. I don't think it's every night because I've been there and they didn't have the food market and stuff like that. But they have a huge market there, but it's really big. It's a huge, huge park, open to the public. I think it's open all day. I think the parks close at 11 p.m. where they close the gates and that kind of thing. But that's a huge park. Next to that one is one of my favorite, Bitchy Kitty Park, which, so let me say, Lumpini Park is, I'm trying to think of the main street that you can get to it from. I can't think of it right now. But Bitchy Kitty Park is the next park. I actually need to look on a map. Bitchy Kitty Park is the next park, and it's at the Oso BTS stop. So if you're going to Terminal 21, it's literally across the street. And it's, I say, the prettiest park in Bangkok. I love it. It's a beautiful lake. Walking track, running track around it. They also have a dog park right there as well. And then there's a park where you can walk through and it's all green. And it's really huge. And then closer to the roadways where you drive in and out, they've got all of their courts there. Basketball courts, they've got I don't know if it's racquetball. They've got, I think they do have racquetball. And then they've got the pung, I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's pung pa or something like that. But where they use the little ball and it's you think they're playing volleyball, but they use their feet for everything. They have those courts. So they have everything in the Bitchy Kitty Park area. And lots of the parks are that way. The Lumpini Park has lots of different facilities and things like that, but they have a lot of playground areas in Lumpini Park. And then my last park is Venturisi Park, which is right next to M Sphere, which is a couple doors down from M Quarter and Emporium Mall. And that's the park that I go to most often because it's in 5, 6, 7 minute walk from my current condo. So I'm always at Venturisi Park. I was just there last night, and they have fountains. There's a lake there too. There's a walking path. One of the cool things about the park, and one of the reasons why you want to, like, even with family, I see tons of families. So obviously, lots of families live in this area, even though I did not necessarily call it out as a family area, because people are usually looking for, a cost, you know, affordability and things like that. But this park, even though it is one of the smallest of those three that I just named, has 2 kiddie areas in it. It has the workout area, 2 workout areas on both sides. And this is not even a big park. They got a skate park there. They got basketball court there. They got the thing kicking it with your feet volleyball thing. They have everything there. And then there's an area in the back where every day, so they do workout classes and stuff that anybody can join. It's not a sign up thing. You just join and you follow along. They speak in Thai, but you can follow along and get a good workout. You can run the track, meet people. The other thing about Kitty Park, this is Venturisi, I was just explaining, but Kitty Park is, I think every Monday evening, there's kind of this known gathering where people walk and run, and I believe if you wear all black is indication that you are interested in meeting someone, but it's a walk run group kind of thing that they have. But it's so funny because, like, who doesn't wear all black? Like, most people wear all black. So anyway, I'm gonna check it out, you guys. I'm gonna report back and let you know how it is. But I think that's at Kitty Park. But anyway, any of these areas, like if you're in those spaces, you've got the access to the park. The kids play, they can meet other kids and things like that. So, and you can meet other parents who have children in your age demographic and that kind of thing. Those are not the only 3 parks in Bangkok. There are parks all over. So if that is something that's important to you, I strongly encourage you to look at the map first. Like, literally pull up Google and look for parks, not just tourism parks, but green areas and walk areas around where you're going to be living, to see if that meets your standards for, getting some fresh air and some greenery. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so the other thing is we got a lot of young people. So we've talked about, like, the older, professional living and how to move around and families. A lot of young people are moving here, and a lot of young people are looking for, high rises with amenities in them, and, easy to move around. And where's the clubs at? Where's everything at? Where's the parties? Okay, so one thing about Bangkok is stuff everywhere. It's easy to walk around. You can be at one place and end up just walking around. You can rooftop bar hop very easily. You can jump on Grabs or jump in a tuk-tuk or motorbike or whatever and hop to the next place, or walk. There's so much. And anywhere from so Rama 9, which is a little bit further north, closer to Central World, and then I would say Punawiti, like the 101 Sukhumvit area on up a little bit, is where you'll find the more reasonably priced apartments. Well, apartments that people are saying are super, super cheap. They're gonna be smaller. You're gonna be in your 25 meter square apartments for the really, really low price, at least right now. Who knows what it'll be this time next year? I don't know. But those are some of the areas that you might find yourself kind of finding things in, where there's more college age students, where you see, different college areas, including close to Chatuchak, Ratachara. It starts with an R, but there's an area over there because there's a university up that way. And so in those areas, similar to what we see in the States, is whenever there's like a university, you'll find like lower housing costs and things like that. But of course, you are going to also be closer to the university. So those are some of the things to keep in mind when you're excuse me, when you're looking for places to consider moving. All right, and then which areas are easy to access to the airport? So let's talk about airport transportation and then buses and trains and things like that, because there's so many options. And this is one of the reasons why Bangkok sits higher on my list, because when I realized how much I wanted to be able to settle down, I want to sit, but I also want mobility. I want it to be easy to get up and go. I want to be able to jump on different modes of transportation to go to cities that are only a couple of hours away without getting on an airplane, or without paying an arm and a leg for things. So areas that are close that have easy access to the airport are going to be Bang Na, On Nut, Phrom Kanong, and those have easier access to BKK, Suvarn, the SS airport. I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not even gonna try to say it. And then Ramanine and Ari, Chattanooga? Y'all know where the big market is. Anything over there, that's gonna be closer to Don Muang Airport. That's the DMK airport. And then, you know, there's train lines that go straight into the airport. The darker red, the maroonish color line goes into Sukhumvit, BKK, and I believe the bright red goes into DMK, the Don Muang airport. All right, I'm going off the top of my head, okay? What are the other things that people want to know? So you guys, keep in mind those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas that I gave you, and then kind of branch from there. So again, Sukhumvit, mainly Thonglo or Prom through Ekamai, but also Siam to expand Siam through Bang Na areas, okay? But Sukhumvit, Ari, Bang Na, which I just said, On Nut, Ramanine, Sathorn, and Thonburi. Those are the main areas I say really take a look at before you decide that Bangkok is not for you or a specific area isn't. Because if everything else fits in terms of mobility, access, all those kinds of things, diversity, different types of activities, get the word out, things like that. You've got Muay Thai, you've got cooking classes, you've got Thai lesson classes, you've got water things. You literally have everything, and we're also within 2 hours from 2 different cities on 2 different sides of the little bay area that we're in. You can go over to the Hua Hin area, or you can go down to Pattaya, Jomtien, and then make your way further down to Rayong. And this is before you even make the long stretch to go down to Phuket, which is a really short flight, but it's a much longer drive, okay? So there's so much access. The other point I wanted to mention when I was talking about transportation is the buses, the trains, and the collectivos is what I call them. So the mini buses, they have minivans and mini buses, and of course you can rent a Grab to take you anywhere, which is going to be about 3 or 4 times the price. But you can basically catch a bus from a number of different bus stations here in Bangkok. Ekamai is my favorite one to jump on to go down to Hua Hin or over to Pattaya or Jomtien. Prices are about $6. You can walk up and pay right there, or you can pay in advance. I use a website called 12Go. You can also use Bookaway is an option for booking those types of transports and for booking cars if you don't want to use Grab. That's one of the stations, and then there's little pickup points along the way. Then there's of course the Mochit terminal, which is up north, close to Chatuchak, and there is the terminal bus station, the southern terminal bus station, which is further west but closer to the train station. So pickup location. So there's so many options, and those are just the main ones, right? So when you look, you're gonna see that there's like 20 different pickup and drop off spots. So if you are okay with, getting a pickup at a bus station or something, not a bus station, a bus stand, a bus stop, and not going to a station, you might have that option if that's closer to you. So consider all of those. And I just love it. I love the access to, the cost associated, the time frames. Some of these buses and collectivos run every half an hour. You can't miss. And you can have something scheduled, get there early, and they'll put you on an earlier bus. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much to consider when you are looking at Bangkok as an option in terms of long-term living or long-term visiting. If you're nomading and you are going to do the 9 months, 90 days, 3 months, I just made up a duration, visa duration. 90 days, 3 months. If you know you're going to do that right out of the gate, it's good to know kind of where, different locations that you can stay in, and then how easy it is to move around. You could do 3 areas right in the Bangkok area, and then pop down to a couple of other cities within a couple of hours and get to explore a little bit more of Thailand. So anyway, you guys, I hope that is helpful. I know I leave a lot kind of open, but if you have questions, please leave comments. Let me know what your questions may be. And I would be more than happy to break down any one of these areas a little bit more in detail, but I wanted to kind of just give you guys the gist. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. If this information that I share on my channel is helpful for you or anyone else, please click the subscribe button. It is free to do, and it helps me get my message out and my information out to other people who may be looking at this or looking for it, and the timing may be perfect for them. I greatly appreciate you guys sharing this and following, leaving me a message, clicking the like button as well. That helps circulate the videos also, and then letting me know, sharing your input, letting me know what you guys want to see and hear more of, because I'm here for you. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Y'all know the drill. Toodles and noodles. Peace and hair grease.